Lena and I went out on a different dates trying to know each other more better before we could execute our plans. The day of Battle of the Bands arrived with perfect summer weather, clear skies, warm sun, the kind of day that felt full of possibility. I spent the morning at my parents' house, trying on different outfits, redoing my makeup 3 times, generally being a nervous wreck. "You look beautiful, Mia," my mom said, watching me from my bedroom doorway. "But you're going to wear a hole in the floor with all that pacing." "What if this is a mistake?" I asked, voicing the fear that had been growing all day. What if kissing Lena in public, in front of Ella? What if it makes everything worse? Worse than being cheated on for 6 months? Worse than being lied to every day? My mom came and sat on my bed. "Mia, this Lena girl. She makes you happy. I've seen it. You smile again. You laugh. You're yourself again. But what if I'm just rebounding? What if? What if you're just letting yourself be happy with someone who actually deserves you?" My mom interrupted gently. "Sometimes the best revenge isn't about hurting the person who hurt you. It's about showing them that you've moved on to something better." She was right. This wasn't just about revenge anymore. This was about claiming my happiness, about refusing to let Ella's betrayal define me. I settled on a black leather skirt, a deep red crop top that showed just enough skin, and the leather jacket. My pink hair was styled in waves, my makeup dramatic but not overdone. I looked confident, sexy, and powerful. I looked like someone who had moved on. The Echo was already packed when I arrived at 7 p.m. The venue was bigger than the Satellite, with a proper stage and professional lighting. There were 7 bands competing, with Crimson Voltage scheduled to perform 5th. Lena was wearing black ripped jeans, combat boots, and a white tank top, her tattooed arms on full display. Her silver blonde hair was looking good. "We're doing this together, remember?" I nodded, trying to calm my racing heart. "Are you ready for this?" Lena asked. "As ready as I'll ever be." The first 4 bands performed, each one good in their own way. I watched from the side stage, my stomach in knots. I could see Ella in the crowd, her black hair pulled into a high ponytail, wearing a blue dress I'd never seen before. She looked tense, her eyes darting around like she was looking for someone. Then it was Crimson Voltage's turn. They took the stage to enthusiastic applause. They'd won this competition twice before and had a loyal following. Lena grabbed the microphone. "Good evening, Echo. We're Crimson Voltage, and we've got some new material for you tonight." Her eyes found mine in the crowd. Songs about taking chances, about not being afraid to fall for someone even when it scares the hell out of you. They launched into their song, a high-energy punk anthem that had the crowd immediately moving. Lena commanded the stage with confidence, her fingers flying over the guitar strings, her voice powerful and raw. She was magnetic. Everyone in the venue was watching her, drawn to her energy, her talent, her presence. Including Ella, whose expression had gone from tense to confused as she watched her stepsister perform. The second song was slower, more melodic. And then came the third song, Freefall, the one Lena had written about me. "This one's special," Lena said into the microphone, her eyes locked on mine. "I wrote it about someone who crashed into my life unexpectedly, someone who taught me that taking risks is worth it." By the time the song ended, I was crying. The entire venue erupted in applause, but I barely heard it. All I could see was Lena, setting down her guitar, jumping off the stage, walking straight toward me with purpose and intensity and love in her eyes. "Mia," she said, loud enough for everyone nearby to hear. "I know this started as something else. I know we had a plan. But I need you to know right now, in front of all these people, I'm falling in love with you. For real, and I don't want to fake anything anymore." My heart stopped. "Lena." And then she kissed me. It was nothing like the practiced kisses, nothing like the staged moments we'd orchestrated over the past few weeks. This kiss was raw and real and desperate. Lena's hands cupped my face, her fingers sliding into my hair, pulling me closer. My hands gripped her shoulders, then slid around her neck, holding on like she was the only solid thing in a spinning world. Her lips moved against mine with certainty, with passion, with promise. When her tongue traced my bottom lip, I opened for her immediately, deepening the kiss. She tasted like mint. The crowd was cheering, whistling, but I barely registered it. All I could feel was Lena, her hands on my face, her lips on mine, her body pressed against me. "I love you," she whispered, just for me. "I know it's too soon. I love you too." That's when I heard it.
That's my stepsister, you monkey! Hey everyone, don't forget to subscribe. Click the button right here.
Ella's voice cut through the noise of the crowd, shrill and furious. We broke apart and turned to see her pushing through the crowd toward us, her face red with rage and humiliation. Everyone turned to stare. Everyone started laughing. At her outburst, at her obvious jealousy, at the spectacle she was making of herself. "No." Ella yanked her arm away, storming up to us. "This is sick. Mia, you're doing this to hurt me. You're using my own stepsister to get revenge." The laughter grew louder. People were filming now, phones out, capturing every moment of Ella's meltdown. "Actually," Lena said calmly, "Mia's not using me for anything. We're together. For real. Deal with it." "You can't be serious." Ella's voice was getting higher, more hysterical. "Mia, we were together for 4 years. For years. And you're just going to throw that away for her?" "You threw it away," I said quietly, but my voice carried in the sudden silence. "You threw it away when you cheated on me for 6 months, when you lied to me every single day, when you betrayed me with my best friend."
Sarah.
"That was a mistake." "No, this was a mistake." I gestured between us. "So, what, you're going to date her now? Date my stepsister? You're seriously that petty?" "I'm not dating her to hurt you," I said, and I meant it. "I'm dating her because she's being honest, because she makes me happy, because she treats me the way I deserved to be treated." The crowd burst into laughter again. Ella looked around, seeming to realize for the first time how many people were watching, how many were filming, how thoroughly she was humiliating herself. "You're going to regret this," she hissed at me, tears streaming down her face. "Both of you." I should have felt triumphant. This was exactly what I'd planned. Ella publicly humiliated, everyone seeing her true colors, her perfect image shattered. But all I felt was relief. Relief that it was over. Relief that I was free of her. Relief that I had Lena's arms around me and a future that had nothing to do with Ella's betrayal. I was too busy processing everything that had just happened. Ella's meltdown had been captured on dozens of phones and was already circulating on social media. By the time we left the Echo around midnight, #MonkeyStepsister was trending locally and the video had thousands of views. "I should feel bad about that," I said as Lena and I sat in her Jeep in the parking lot, scrolling through the posts. "But I don't." "She did it to herself," Lena said pragmatically. "Nobody forced her to make a scene. She could have walked away with dignity." Lena put her phone away and turned to me. "Fell in love. Together." She smiled.
Yeah.
"That too. So what now?" "Now we figure out how to actually be a couple. A real couple. Not just a revenge plot." I like the sound of that. Lena leaned over the center console and kissed me softly. "Come home with me tonight?" I'd like that. At her apartment, we didn't immediately fall into bed. Instead, we sat on her couch, my head on her shoulder, her arm around me, just being together. "Can I ask you something?" I said after a while. "Anything." She said, "When did you know this was real for you?" Lena thought about it. "Remember that first night at the Rusty Nail, when you told me your plan?" "Yeah. I thought you were cute then, but I figured it was just physical. Then we started spending time together, and I realized you were funny and smart and resilient. But that moment I knew I was in trouble. For me, it was the night you wrote that song. I admit it. When I heard Free Fall, when I realized you'd written something that personal about us, I couldn't pretend it was fake anymore." "We're pretty terrible at fake dating," Lena said with a laugh. "The worst." She kissed the top of my head. "I'm glad. I'd rather have this, whatever messy, complicated, real thing this is more than something fake and easy." That night, we made love properly for the first time. Not rushed, Not desperate, but slow and thorough and real. Lena took her time learning my body, finding every spot that made me gasp, every touch that made me arch into her. "You're so beautiful," she murmured against my skin, her hands everywhere, her lips following. When her fingers slid inside me, when she moved with perfect rhythm. "Lena," I cried out, gripping her shoulders, trembling. "That's it, baby," she breathed. "I've got you." "Mia, fuck." I kissed her deeply as I moved my fingers, wanting to taste her pleasure, wanting to give her everything she'd given me. We fell asleep tangled together, exhausted and happy and completely in love. The next morning, I woke up to my phone buzzing incessantly. Dozens of messages from friends, family, even people I hadn't talked to in years. From Jennifer, "Girl, I saw the video. You're a legend. Call me." From my mom, "Mija, please tell me that girl you kissed is treating you well. Your father wants her phone number to have a talk." From Priya, "London, you absolute icon. The video made it all the way to London." Ella looked insane. But the message that mattered most was from Lena, even though she was sleeping right next to me. "Lena, good morning, girlfriend. Last night was perfect. All of it. But especially the part where I got to fall asleep with you." I smiled, waking her gently. "Morning," she mumbled, her eyes still closed. "Morning. We're kind of internet famous."
Saw that.
Worth it. Completely worth it. Over the next few weeks, life settled into a new rhythm. I started a job at a digital marketing firm in Santa Monica. Lena's band started getting more gig offers after their battle of the band's victory. We spent our free time together, her teaching me guitar, me helping her with social media strategy for the band, both of us just existing in each other's space. We went on proper dates, dinners, movies, concerts. We met each other's friends properly. My parents officially met Lena over Sunday dinner, and despite my dad's initial intimidation tactics, "What are your intentions with my daughter?" they ended up loving her. "She's good for you," my mom said as we washed dishes while Lena helped my dad with something in the garage. "She makes you laugh. She sees you." "She does," I agreed. Ella, meanwhile, became a non-entity in my life. I blocked her on everything, and while I occasionally heard through mutual friends that she was going through a rough time, I felt nothing. No pity, no satisfaction, just nothing. Sarah had apparently moved to San Francisco, unable to face the fallout from what she'd done. Good riddance to both of them. Lena joked. One evening, if she hadn't cheated, we never would have met.
Nah.
We would have found each other eventually. Some things are just meant to be. I believed her, because this us felt inevitable in the best way. Like all the heartbreak and betrayal and pain had led me exactly where I needed to be.